CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And we're back here. Thanksgiving Day at Dallas. The Dolphins and the Cowboys about to begin, with Dallas receiving the kick after winning the toss and wanting the football. The Cowboys again share the NFC East lead with the Giants, while the Dolphins have won 3 straight games. When you talk to them at Miami, they believe they still have a shot at the postseason.
Well, they do, and I think Tony Sperano, he coached down here in Dallas. Don't forget, they got some players on the Miami Dolphins that played here. They know the emotion, the short week. So many things favor the Dallas Cowboys. They just want to get off to a good start.
There's Tony Sperano, and he really wanted the football to begin this game, but instead they'll be kicking away. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish, where available, using the SAP button on your television. Shane Graham substituting for Dan Carpenter, gets it down to Felix Jones, who will take a knee. Tony Sperano, his defense, how will they measure up against Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys? Romo has never lost on Thanksgiving Day. Of course, he was injured last year when the Cowboys lost on this occasion to the Saints. But he's 4-0 on Thanksgiving Day, and he's never lost a home start in the month of November. He's got that rookie right tackle, the 9th overall selection out of USC, Tyron Smith. Meanwhile, Robinson, what a playmaker he has been since Miles Austin's been out with a hamstring injury. Another touchdown last week. Here's the quick throw, and look at the play right away as Bryant is decked by Vontae Davis for no gain. Well, this Miami defense, it has gone now 3 consecutive games without allowing a touchdown, a span of 12 quarters. You got Starks and company up front. You got Cameron Wake, who is a quarterback's nightmare, coming in at linebacker. And then you got the likes of Jeremiah Bell at safety. This Miami defense, certainly a confident bunch here off the last 3 weeks. Victories by the Dolphins by 28-11 and 27 points over Kansas City, Washington, and Buffalo. 2nd and 10, and Romo completes it to Robinson, and he's got the first down. A gain of 10. LaRon Robinson brought down by Sean Smith.
Well, Jim, let's talk about this Dallas Cowboys offense. The one thing you have to pay attention to, Tony Romo in the pocket. He'll look around the field. You pressure him, he'll break out of the pocket. And what separates him from a lot of quarterbacks, he will look deep down the field, has the arm strength to hit the receivers in stride. That was a huge touchdown last week against the Redskins to Jason Witten.
In a game they won in overtime on the road. 1st and 10, and here's DeMarco Murray. Moving a pile, still fighting for every inch. Give him 2.
Well, a couple things when you watch this Dallas offense, you are going against this Miami Dolphins defense. Most people, if you want to run it, you need to go outside, because this Dolphins defense is tough inside. Paul Soliai, he's the defensive tackle. They can stop the run. If you want to have success, you need to go outside to tight end.
Jason Garrett, who started on this very date 17 years ago, leading the Cowboys to a victory over the Packers. Thanksgiving Day 1994, throwing for over 300 yards in that game. Cowboy coach took over at midseason a year ago, and it's Romo down the field to Robinson, and it was contact, and there is a flag produced. It's going to be on Sean Smith of the Dolphins. Pete Morelli and company officiating this game today.
Pass interference, defense, automatic first down.
25-yard penalty it'll be.
Well, it was good coverage down the field, and this time Sean Smith against Robinson is in good position, and what really happens, it's incidental tripping. Their feet got tangled, but his hand was on the jersey, so they got to throw the flag.
And that puts the Cowboys at the Miami 43, and they've got a 3 tight end formation here on first down, and it's Murray, stutter step move, and then is somersaulted at the 39 by Jeremiah Bell. That's a gain of 4.
DeMarco Murray, even though Felix Jones is back on his team and healthy, look at the move, look at the room outside. That's where you want to attack. John Phillips, number 89, is an excellent blocking tight end, also in the backfield since Fiametta, the fullback, is out. But DeMarco Murray, keep him in rhythm. make sure you give him enough carries to keep him productive.
And Felix Jones is up. He's had that ankle sprain. He was back last week. And that's Romo down the sideline, and it is picked off. And that's Davis who has the theft. Looking for a little help, looking for a block. Collides with his own man. He ran into Dansby, but the Dolphins come up with the big takeaway. Vontae Davis. He's the first Dolphin now to have more than one interception on the season. And Miami takes over. Well, it's a beautiful day again outside, but we're inside Cowboy Stadium, and Romo's first interception in his last 129 throws. He was firing it in the direction of Marcellus Bennett. And here come the Dolphins with their first handle, and it's Reggie Bush with a good run out to the 49, wrapped up by Brady James, gain of 7.
Well, Jim, let's go back real quick and look at the interception. Watch the receivers underneath, very common pattern. Martellus Bennett on the fade. Tony Romo looks down the field. Now, they want him to be daring. That's what he's been doing. Being smart and daring, but this time the other guys are open, and what a play by Vontae Davis on the interception.
2nd down and 3 for Miami. And a little play action, and Matt Moore's going for the big ball. Looking for Brandon Marshall at the 10, and it goes through his hands. Newman was on the coverage. Marshall was trying to gauge that one. He looked like he had a beat on it, but maybe didn't run up far enough to catch it.
Well, it's a little different too, Jim. He goes to the inside, so the quarterback at the last second has to relocate where he's going to throw the football. Matt Moore expects an outside move. Usually you do when the receiver goes deep, straight down the field, but still a good chance, and it sends a message to this Cowboy defense that the Miami Dolphins offense is going to be aggressive throwing the football down the field.
They were trying to do something they have not done all season, and that is have a play that goes for 50 yards. Their longest play of the season was 46. 3rd and 3, and the pass deflected and incomplete. Knocked down by Jay Ratliff, the nose tackle.
Cowboys have enough pass rushers. Jay Ratliff right in the middle against Vernon Carey. It's just the fact that he got so deep and so close to the quarterback allowed him to knock the pass down. Brandon Marshall was going to be open for the first down. Good job by Jay Ratliff.
And that is Brandon Fields in the punt. Akwazi Owusu-Ansah, who's the returner for the Cowboys. Fair catch. At the 10, 40-yard punt. So nothing produced off the takeaway. Football back to the Cowboys.
CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The new 80-inch from Sharp, the leader in the largest LED TVs. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
We're back here in Arlington. You saw the home of the Texas Rangers in the foreground, the American League champions, and this is Murray on first down. This coming after Fields produces his 6th punt inside the 20, going back to the start of last week. Now, Tony Romo, and when you talk about the month of November, he's 12-0 at home as a starter. And again, has never lost on Thanksgiving Day.
Shoot, they need to brainwash him and just make him think it's November all the time. You know, they got all these people who can do everything for you nowadays.
We're back to the 3 tight end formation. Serve him a big turkey dinner on Saturday night before the games.
Every week.
It's Thanksgiving, Tony. And we got movement on the left side for the Cowboys. Looks like Doug
Ball
Free.
start, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
Got a sports fan on your list? Avoid the crowds with CBSSports.com shop. Now through the weekend only. Get free standard shipping on all officially licensed gear. CBS free. That's what you enter when you check out at shop.cbssports.com. Tony has been healthy now for a couple of weeks after that early season rib fracture and punctured lung, and he's played really well since coming back.
Oh, it shows. When you watch him play, you can see his confidence and most of all physically on top of his game, throwing the ball on target with power.
Ball start, number 85, offense. 5-yard penalty still. 2nd down.
Well, this time on Ogletree, so back-to-back penalties against the Cowboys.
And this is one thing, the Dallas Cowboys. This Miami Dolphin defense, Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, pretty creative, and they like to mix it up too. So you don't want to get into situations where, wow, then you know it's obvious what we're going to do. They can give you blitzes that are hard to pick up. That's when you make mistakes and your quarterback gets hit.
He'll go to the gun on 2nd down and 16. They go run with Murray. And he's got 2 Dolphins on him quickly. Jones and Smith for a loss of a yard.
You know, you're in a short week like this. Excellent job by the safety Jones coming up and making the tackle. But, you know, Jim, when you have a short week, I do think it does favor the Dallas Cowboys. They get an extra half a day to prepare their football team. So the Dolphins, I think they went on this approach. Let's keep it pretty simple, which Tony Sparano has done in these 3 victories, physically and mentally. Keep it a little more simple, and don't let the players think too much. Let's just let them play.
Felix Jones has entered the game for the Cowboys. 3rd and 17.
That was a good bluff.
Romo rolling out. Allen rolls it, and it off the hands of Robinson, who was in open field.
Well, one thing that we see so many weeks, and you and I talk a lot about, when you only rush 3 guys against a good NFL veteran quarterback, coverage is great. It's wonderful, but the fact now the quarterback, once he moves out, the defense expands, and look at the area in the middle of the field. And if Robinson didn't slow down, it's going to be a catch for a lot of extra yards.
Yeah, it would have been a 1st down. Maybe he felt the presence of Rashad Jones. Did it dramatically change field position, but instead, McBriar is called on to punt, and it goes out of bounds near midfield. They spot it right at the 50, 46-yard punt.
Is over. Now that's an undisclosed location where those guys are at. The Marines, I needed them, Jim, because those trophies are valuable. See, I'm not always cheap. I do spend a little money, so those trophies are worth something.
I'm glad to see it. 1st down is Bush. And nice cut outside, and Reggie's out of bounds at the 36. A gain of 14. Clyde Gates on that side helped free him with a big block.
That's on the outside. Abilene Christian wide receiver, but Reggie Bush, I heard our pregame show talking about it. That can he be an every down back? And he said to us last night, I love what I'm doing in this offense down here. I'm going to show everybody that I'm an every down back, that I can score on the goal line, that I can do the run in between the tackles, and of course, we know he can catch the passes.
Well, he's just loving it. He told us last night, this first opportunity he feels in 6 years in the league to show everybody that he can be a complete running back. Like a kid in a candy store is how he described it, and here they toss it, and what a leveling hit that is by Sean Lee on Bush for a loss of 3.
Jim, I don't even know the word for this formation. Here is the center. Look at everybody to this side. Now, where do you think Reggie Bush is going to run the football? I know this. We know he's going right. It worked last week 1 out of 2 times. But if you're on the Dallas defense, don't go to sleep. You see something like that, they didn't tell us. There's got to be some type of pass, throw back to the quarterback, something involved with that formation.
Very interesting. Some sort of swinging gate-like formation.
That is unbelievable.
Daniel Thomas is in the backfield now. Ricky running back on 2nd and 13. And Moore's going to dump it over to him. And again, the Cowboys are in on him quickly, hold him to 2 yards. Sean Lee and Brady James on the tackle. Here is Matt Moore, who began his career actually as an undrafted rookie in the Cowboys camp in 2007. Did not make the Dallas roster, but it all began here before he was claimed off waivers by the Carolina Panthers. Pouncey is their 1st-round draft pick. Of course, his brother's the center up in Pittsburgh. And then you've got Reggie Bush with 506 yards on the season coming in. His parents have flown in for the occasion to be here as Reggie plays in the Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas as the opponent for the 2nd straight year. 3rd and 11, and picked up by Moore, and look out because Skandrick is in on him. And a loss of 10.
Well, the fact that he has trouble with the snap, drops the football, never sees the blitz coming from his right, could never get his eyes up to see what is going on. So, tough break, scoring chance just gone away for the Miami Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins start their 2 series at their own 42 after the interception, and then at the 50, and they fail to produce anything. They got 1 first down off the Bush carry, but that's it. And Fields going to put another one inside the 20. Owasu Ansah lets it go, and that is beautifully covered. That's Jimmy Wilson down there who tapped it back in play. 44-yard punt. Moore here did a good job not to fumble this one with Skandrick all over him. After the punt by Brandon Fields and the coverage by Wilson, the Cowboys pin back at the 3. That's DeMarco Murray. And he breaks through for a gain of 8, maybe 9. Sean Smith rides him down. Of course, Murray had a 91-yard touchdown in his 253-yard performance against the Rams earlier this season.
Well, I think you said it right. Dallas Cowboys 3rd round, they struck gold. And DeMarco Murray, and it's what he's done. It is true. There's no weakness so far when you watch him play. How patient was he on that last run? Very. He waits, knows the responsibilities of the blockers, lets him do their job.
2nd and 1. Now he's going to cut back, and that move gets them to first down. Gain of 2.
Well, it shows you a couple things. He can be patient. The fact that since he's become the running back, Jim, and Jason Garrett was telling us, he doesn't lose yards. And the fact that the offensive linemen are athletic enough to stay engaged, maybe they don't knock him off the line of scrimmage, but they're engaged. It allows him to wait and see and then attack where he sees a weakness.
Of course, his coach also said very natural player, and he can process information right away. And he can throw anything at him, and he's been able to handle it, the rookie, by way of Oklahoma.
You know, how about that? You're backed up, give it to the big guy, get a first down, make everybody relax.
First down and 10, and another interception. It's Sean Smith this time. Cut in front of LaRon Robinson, and now the Dolphins are set up inside the 30.
Well, one of the big reasons this Miami defense and football team have turned around, it's the play of the corners, and that is an excellent play. Being physical off the line of scrimmage, locating the football, cutting underneath. What a job by Sean Smith. Big and physical outside. That describes his play.
Sean Smith in his 3rd year out of Utah, who was their 2nd-round pick in 2009. Vontae Davis, who had the other pick, was their 1st-round pick in 2009. And those two, each with an interception here in the 1st quarter.
That secondary made so many mistakes early in the year, but they're making up for it here in the last month.
They were next to last in the league in takeaways coming into the week. It's Thomas. And Thomas rumbles down to the 14. The rookie from Kansas State running behind Vernon Carey for a gain of 12.
Well, Rob Ryan watched the inside. Nice. Mike Pouncey, how about that? Jay Ratliff just pushed all the way back behind the play. But Rob Ryan, defensive coordinator, says, man, I know this group. I know Tony Sperano. They're going to run the football at us. Of course, I agree. The Dallas Cowboy defense does have a tendency to give up some big runs.
And this is Thomas down to the 10. Daniel Thomas was drafted in the 2nd round in week 2 of the season. He ran for over 100 yards against the Houston Texans. And then, well, he had about a month-and-a-half span where he was idle because of a hamstring injury, and now just getting healthy again.
Well, you know, we see it with so many teams. You need 2 running backs, and now they just got to, it fits perfectly. He's in there. You got to be alert for runs in between the tackle. There's another one.
2nd down and 6, and he spins to the 8. Now, they were spectacular last week in the red zone. The Dolphins were 4 for 4 producing touchdowns, and in this 3-game win streak, that's been a big story for them, is taking advantage of opportunities inside the 20. They have a 3rd and 3 coming up.
Well, you know, I say so many times, red zone offense. There's Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator. Shows a lot of formations, movement. His big goal always, like most offensive coordinators, to get it to the guys that can make the play. Brandon Marshall, Reggie Bush.
Dable, a Belichick disciple, formerly with the Jets and last year the Browns. And here on 3rd and 3, it's Moore stepping up, and it's through the back of the end zone.
See the difference? Matt Moore has played well. but it's a three-man rush. Look, there's nobody to pressure him. He can move, do whatever he wants. Tony Romo, we saw what he did against the three-man rush. So Matt Moore is going to go to the sideline and go, I got to know, when they rush three, move around the pocket, keep my eyes down the field.
Shane Graham just signed his first attempt as a Dolphin. Dan Carpenter out with a groin injury, did not make the trip. This is 26 yards. And Graham, who was the substitute kicker for the Patriots last year and didn't miss on 12 attempts, is good from 26 yards out. Tony Sperano's bunch leads it 3-0. Taylor with his third stint in Miami, 13th year as a Dolphin, 15 years in the league overall.
I'll tell you something, too. He's got a little gas left, too, when you watch him play this year.
Graham boots it. Felix Jones thought about taking a knee, then comes out with it. Gets away from the first pressure at the 10 and swallowed up at the 15. Well, Marcus Pollard, the former NFL tight end, he's always had the drive, but can he take the checkered flag? It's an all-new Amazing Race on Sunday here on America's #1 network. Now, Tony Romo, who's been picked on 2 of his last 3 throws. So what are you looking for from Tony right now? As you see, this Miami defense has been stout this last month, and he certainly realized that here in the early going.
Oh, I think they knew they were walking in and playing against a team that was hot, tough, pretty well coached, and it makes you a little uncertain as a quarterback with their talent and their scheme. So they've been a little conservative so far in what they do.
It's Murray finding a small seam up the middle for about 3.
I think the big...
Well, the last touchdown allowed by the Dolphins, it was Victor Cruz and the New York Giants. And the Giants came back from a big early deficit in that one to beat them. But it's been now moving in on 13 quarters. With 2 minutes to go here in the first, as they last allowed. That defense gave up a touchdown. And 2nd and 7. Got the completion to Robinson this time. Out to the 40 and a first down. Gain of 22.
Well, that's just one way to get Tony Romo back into the game. And, you got to give him some confidence. After all the success he's had in the NFL, even a veteran quarterback's confidence can be shaken. So roll it out. Good job. Very conservative, 2-deep defense by the Dolphins. And LaRon Robinson, he is an excellent route runner. Can weave down the field, go in, break out. Good example of it right there.
Second catch for Robinson. And the Cowboys are out to the 40. And the delay give. It is Murray galloping up the middle. He's got 10. Running behind John Phillips.
Well, you're a Miami Dolphin linebacker. You have to be careful. Tony Romo, one of the best. How about John Phillips right up the middle, gets that block against Carlos Dansby. Fullback leading through. That's a tight end, John Phillips. Good read. But the Cowboys are an excellent draw team. The blocking, the scheme, and the faking by Tony Romo.
2nd and about a foot. They'll go ahead and cut it outside. And Murray trying to shake off Cameron Wake. They actually mark him near the first. Say the knee touched right about the first down yardage mark. And Murray's averaging 6 yards a carry. And for all those top contenders in the league, he's got the best average by about a yard per carry. In the last 5 weeks, just look at this. 674 yards in that span. He did pick up the first down with that last run.
Well, he's been off. Just everything he's done down here has been great. Tell you what really endears him to a lot of people, too. He doesn't give a lot of interviews, so he just plays. He's not looking for glorification.
Got Felix Jones taking his place on his snap, 1st and 10. Romo got pressure, and he goes down. It's Wake. Cameron Wake.
Well, Jim, we had a chance to talk about Cameron Wake last night, coming from the outside. Playing a few less plays, keeping fresher, so he can make plays that make a difference.
It's the end of the first quarter, and you're watching the NFL on. And we start the second quarter with the Cowboys down 3-0. 2nd and 18, and Romo goes sideline in the area of Des Bryant, but again it was Vontae Davis guarding on that one. Last time Cowboys did not put up points in the first quarter was last year's Thanksgiving Day game. Of course, Romo was not the quarterback a year ago.
Well, I'll tell you too, Des Bryant, they got fooled. They thought it was going to be a certain coverage. The Dolphins, that was awesome. They waited till the ball was snapped. They all changed, and Des Bryant didn't read it. Tony Romo did, but that's pretty tough on a receiver when the defense is making a change as the ball is snapped. That's why you get miscommunication.
Well, they have a 3rd and 18 thanks to that Cameron Wake sack. They'll drop back Romo on the last play of the first quarter. And Romo steps away from the pressure now, just flips it to Phillips. And Phillips fights to the 45, but he's 4 yards short of a first. Dansby was able to trip him up enough, gain of 12.
Well, to the right, Smith, all the way outside. That's Cameron Wake. Look at him break. Nice job. And there's John Phillips again inside. Always had a good start to the game, and they need him to play very well. Fiametta, the fullback, is out, was playing so great last week against the Washington Redskins. John Phillips did a good job.
Bess is back. And look at McBriar kind of tipping you off here, angling toward the sideline.
Look where he is. He's about 3 yards right of the center.
Ball start, number 16, offense. 5-yard penalty remains, 4th down.
We saw this during warm-ups. We go, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
And he was amazingly accurate. You know, watching him do that. And he's already done it once in this game with a 46-yard punt out of bounds. Breyer has been battling a case of drop foot in his left leg, some nerve damage. Now he goes shifting over toward the left side. And this one's a fair catch by Bess at the 11. 40-yard punt. Got it done inside the 20. 2 picks. Dolphins had only 8 takeaways all year coming into this one. They already have a holiday, and thank you for making CBS America's most watched network. Now Dolphins from the 11, 1st and 10 in play action. Moore deep down the field to Marshall. He's got him at the 50 and a gain of 39. Scandra decks him immediately, but a big play for the Dolphins to shift field position.
Yeah, what a time to call that play. Jim, you and I were just talking about, you got to get Matt Moore into the game. Let him feel confident, and when they're open, he can put the football right on these receivers. What a way to start it. Backed up, sell out the play action. Shannon Sharp talked about it. And this Dolphins offense, they do it well. They try to get the football to Brandon Marshall and Reggie Bush as much as they can.
Marshall with the big play there. The 39-yard pass play to midfield.
Ball start, 77, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's quite an interesting story, though, Matt Moore and how he's made his way to Miami. And it all started here in Dallas. You know, he was here with Romo. He was trying to make that team. Brad Johnson ended up being the backup. They thought they were going to practice squad him.
Absolutely.
But then Carolina got a hold of him.
They got a hold of him, and then, of course, he's found his way to the Miami Dolphins. And what has happened, it always takes a few games for coaches to learn what he does best. He likes to move around, likes to throw on the run. And of course, we saw it. Loves play-action passes.
6 touchdowns the last 3 games and only 1 pick. Going for a second option here. He's got the short gain, maybe a yard, that's it. To Charles Clay, the rookie out of Tulsa, is met instantly by Anthony Spencer.
It's a lot of fun sometimes for you and I. You know, we get to meet with the players and coaches, and we laugh. And Brian Dable came in last night, offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, and he was pretty colorful about some of his explanations. But he worked with Rob. Don't be laughing. He worked with Rob Ryan up in New England, and he goes, that Rob Ryan. He basically just said, I know he's going to do everything to us today because he thinks we can't be ready for it.
That's a big playbook you got to go against. Ryan has everything.
Good point.
It's thick, and you got a short week to prepare for it. 2nd down and 16, and Moore has Hartline, and he's about 3 yards short of a first. Give him 13.
Well, so far, the Dolphins, what worried me coming into this game, can they protect the quarterback long enough to let him throw it down the field? Good timing route by the quarterback and receiver. And Matt Moore able so far to drop back, throw the football without looking too many different places. This is the guy you got to worry about. Good job by Jake Long pushing DeMarcus Ware. around behind the quarterback.
It's a good matchup. The former first overall pick in the draft going against Ware. 3rd and 3. Moore steps up and connects with Fasano, and the former Cowboy tight end moves the football to the 24 and a gain of 19.
So many times on offense, what is it? It's just about you beating the guy across from you. And that time, Fasano, nice move up the field, just a little bend out, and another perfect throw by Matt Moore. So his confidence is soaring right now. And if you're the offensive coordinator, everything's in play.
Moore with 5 completions to 5 different receivers. Fasano was traded over from the Cowboys in 2008. Sperano wanted him. So does Parcells. Ahead, they go with Bush. And Reggie's got 3. How about Reggie Bush as an every down back and what he's proven so far this year?
Well, I know it's always a big debate. And you know, okay, yes, I think he can be an every down back as I watch it. But I don't mean Jim carrying the football 25 times. You don't have to do that in this league anymore. He has proven when the offense is designed to do it, which the Dolphins are, that he can run between the tackles. And, of course, he even said it to us, what? Playing on grass, what a difference. When you take that beating on grass, you can recover a lot faster.
He talked last night about how much better he feels in the legs with the grass field at home as Moore. A little maybe too much zip on that one for Devon Best, and the Cowboys had it covered anyway. You want to see a little footage of what Reggie Bush looked like when he was just a kid playing football?
Well, I bet he was fast, or faster than everybody else. How about that?
Here you go. His mom, Denise, kind enough to send us some of that footage. Third down, and Reggie goes to the sideline. Daniel Thomas flanks the quarterback out of the shotgun. Moore in traffic and sacked. Spun around and taken down by Victor Butler. And another loss of 8.
Well, it's a big loss, but this is not that bad of a play by Matt Moore. The protection's good at first. There's nobody open down the field. So you go, oh, just throw it away. Well, it's a little harder than that. Look, everybody's covered. In fact, double covered. They double covered both inside receivers. Taking a sack in this dome doesn't make the field goal that much more difficult.
Graham, again, that was his first field goal attempt the last time. This is 47 yards. He has not missed since the 09 season. And Shane Graham, just a little wide left. He was in for only extra points last week. No field goal attempts. This one just a fraction wide of the mark. And it remains 3-0 Miami. So influential in the yardage pieces that were selected here for this magnificent stadium.
And it is. I was down on the field before the game, and the Dolphin players, a lot of them have seen it. They just walk around and go, man, what a place.
Yeah, what a place where the Packers won the Super Bowl this past February over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Packers winning earlier today, giving them 17 straight wins. Dallas from the 38. Murray showing some speed here and power, and he's down at the Miami 44. Showing the whole package with that one for 18.
Wants to read by DeMarco Murray from behind. You're the running back. Nice fake by Tony Romo. Watch the block on the outside. LaRon Robinson gets that extra block, and then that's something DeMarco Murray does very well. Makes the one guy miss to pick up those 5, 6, or 8 extra yards.
Boy, LaRon Robinson's going to be feeling good about things when they show that block in the group film session next week after they get a couple of days off after the holiday. It's back to Murray, and he finds something there. Didn't look like a whole lot of room, a lot of traffic, but still able to maneuver for 7. Since 2007, the NFL Play 60 has been traveling the country, helping the youth of America to be more active and healthy. And this spring, the NFL Play 60 bus will come to a new deserving community, and it could be yours. Find out more. Visit NFLrush.com/bus. Felix Jones in for Murray. on 2nd and 3. Romo, little jump pass, and Jones has the grab and the first, gain of 4. Twisted down by Kevin Burnett, a former Cowboy. A year ago with the Chargers.
Well, the Cowboys, what they're trying to do, they threw it here in kind of an obvious pass, a run situation, Jim, because they're hoping to get some space down the field to make that big play. But the Dolphins, pretty smart. They were playing pass all the way. That's why Tony Romo had to throw it short.
It's first down, and Jones remains the running back. And that's Phillips with his second catch of the game, 4 yards. And again, it's Burnett on the stick. Been a quiet start so far for Jason Witten.
Yeah, it has. Well, okay, that's one thing when you come and you play the Cowboys, 2 guys you'd like to take out of the game right away. Jason Witten and also Dez Bryant, the wide receiver, giving them both a little extra attention.
Murray back in there. Witten, the past winner of your Bill Sims All-Iron Award on Thanksgiving Day. Second down and 6. That's Murray, and he's going to lose big yardage. And again, it's Cameron Wake. And a loss of 5.
Cameron Wake playing his job to your right. Oh my gosh, he gets Jason Witten, keeps the outside arm free. You got to know DeMarco Murray loves to cut back. Look at that job by Cameron Wake. He can rush the passer, tough at the point of attack, athletic enough to force to go up the field and make those tackles.
Wake with that amazing journey, odyssey, if you will, to the NFL, through the Canadian League, out of football for a couple of years before that, a mortgage broker and a personal trainer.
Kept him in shape, ready. Look at this, everybody up.
3rd and 11. Romo guns it, has the first. And that's Bryant. Bryant in front of Davis for 18 yards, and the pocket was about to collapse on Romo, and he got it away, undaunted.
Here comes a free blitzer to the outside, but Tony Romo knows it. He kind of flows to his left to give himself that extra little time, and he does this very well. Throws as he's moving. You understand now when you watch it, everybody at your feet hitting you, you better be moving.
That's a good way to blow out a knee. Dansby was rolling in there, so was Jeremiah Bell coming up high. And Romo picks up the first down on 1st and 10 at the Miami 16. Romo to Robinson, and almost another touchdown occasion for LaRon Robinson, who's getting quite accustomed to being in the end zone.
Well, what a find for the Dallas Cowboys, looking for a receiver. Norv Turner has come through the Cowboys. Jason Garrett knows him, so they're watching those San Diego training camp cuts. LaRon Robinson let go by the San Diego Chargers, and you tell them, Jim, all the things they said. They worked him out, and they went, oh boy, did we get lucky here.
Norv kind of tipped off Jason Garrett. We're going to have a good one. We're going to have to cut. And this is Murray for just a couple.
Well, when they saw LaRon Robinson in person, they just go, he's big, he's fast, he can catch it. What is there not to like? And we've talked about it. Very good route runner, probably his weakness. If you get real physical at the line of scrimmage, he can struggle with that, but he'll learn to deal with that with a few more repetitions and time in the NFL.
Matt Moore waiting. 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Dolphins are up 3-0. Robinson wide to the left. He's been quite a danger in the red zone. A touchdown a week ago at Washington from this point. 2 the week before that. Romo going right side instead, and it's thrown away in the area of Dez Bryant.
Boy, I was watching the pass coverage. Very good. Kind of confusing. So Tony Romo really doesn't get a chance to look and see, okay, who's going to come open? And it was an adjusted route by Dez Bryant. So really no chance for Tony Romo to hit it. Good coverage by the Miami Dolphins. Something different. And boy, Tony Romo hit again.
Dan Bailey is coming out to kick. He has the longest active make streak in the league after Shane Graham missed before. Graham was up to 25 in a row before the miss. 24 straight makes by Bailey, and the rookie by way of Oklahoma State now has his streak run up to 25 consecutive makes. The game's tied 3-3.
Yeah, we saw them last night.
A little Thanksgiving feast.
And they were, I got to tell you now, they can pack it in.
Well, you saw a few second trips to the buffet line, didn't you?
Just a couple.
Hey, I want to pass along happy Thanksgiving greetings to my old partner in the golf booth, Ken Venturi, who's home in the desert in California, recovering from open heart surgery and doing really well. I'm so happy to report. Running out with it, it's Clyde Gates. And you don't want to let that speedster get an open lane. He's bumped out of bounds. 3-3 game.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And by Walgreens. Arm yourself with a Walgreens flu shot.
Come on back inside late in the first half. And that ball was mishandled on the exchange, and Moore in Miami will lose a yard.
Little fumble. Let's see what happens. It's Matt Moore pulling out just a little too quick. Got to keep your hands right on the center.
Second and 11. He's in trouble. The Cowboys come crashing through, and they get to him. Coleman for a loss of 7.
Well, you see just on this play why the Dolphins have to be a little careful. Look inside. Mike Pouncey, Ratliff goes up the field. That opens up a huge lane for Kenyon Coleman to come inside and make the sack. Really in very obvious passing situations. The Dolphins, they're not going to be able to let Matt Moore stand back there and look for the second receiver. They're going to have to get the football out of their hands almost all day long fast.
6 defensive backs ready to challenge Moore. No, they'll go draw instead with Reggie Bush. Bush. 4 Cowboys surround them, including Skandrick and Ball, and it's a gain of 11. And they keep on pushing and shoving well past the whistle.
That's a good play call. Nice and safe. Punt the football, run the draw. And I think the little scuffle at the end, I think it's the Dolphins are just trying to, they're emotional, the Dolphins, when you watch them on the sideline. Tony Sperano said, we will not be intimidated. But I think we got the feeling for real that they feel so confident that they could come in here and win this game today.
Timeout Cowboys with 3:14 to go, and Miami has really been able to get through this first half without the Cowboys having any kind of big offensive fireworks, and that was something that Sperano knew was a must. Of course, with all of his experiences, 5 years as an assistant here. In fact, his last couple of years, he was the assistant head coach to Bill Parcells. He even had Parcells' Thanksgiving week playbook to work off of this week.
Yeah, he did. And, as you look at the numbers so far here in this game, what the Dolphins are going to say to themselves at halftime, though, Jim, okay, we withstood it, the early barrage, but they've had many opportunities to have more points and to be in a position where they can have the Cowboys chasing them.
Sperano called this Thanksgiving occasion for the Cowboys like a mini Super Bowl. They come out with a lot of energy, and he said we'll be there to match it. Fields, who's had a strong game, uncorks a big punt. Owasu Ansah. Some nifty moves, some tight territory, and able to pick up 17 tight roping after a 58-yard punt. What's this, Phil?
Well, the trophies are on their way. That's what it is. Load them up, secret place. We chose you. Here they come. I mean, you got to look at these. You even said to me, I'd like to have one.
Yes,
I said,
that's right.
No, you got to do something special.
There's Stephen Boyd, who's the, thank you, the Jay Berwanger of the Phil Simms All-Iron MVP Award, won it back in '98.
Yeah, look at those names. There's Stephen Boyd, my favorite winner of all time still, and then we got more and more guys involved. And we want the guy that does something unusual, that when he's called upon out of nowhere, he does it, helps his team win the game.
1st and 10. I thought that was really nice last night. You're talking about how you're going to get all the past winners together this coming off season, take their families to Hawaii and celebrate the All-Iron Trophy, all expenses paid, as Murray loses a yard.
You got me confused of making your salary.
Let me segue to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Tuesday, gather the family and celebrate everyone's favorite holiday classic on America's #1 network. All right, what are the Cowboys? 2.5 to go. When I watch games with you, you love the strategy of how you work the clock at this point to the finish of the half.
Well, of course, what you want to do is score, not give them any time. But the Cowboys still searching for answers. What's working?
Murray. He falls forward for an extra yard as Vontae Davis held on low. May have been shaken up a little bit. Yep, Davis is down. After a gain of 7 and an injury timeout here in Dallas. Time report with JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower. Look at the first half of our game here in Dallas. We sent along our Thanksgiving greetings to our crew back there. Also, highlights of the Packers game today. Win over the Lions and the live performance of Enrique Iglesias. Charlotte Anderson is the chair of the Salvation Army's National Advisory Board. There she is. And she's produced this great halftime performance you're going to be seeing with Enrique Iglesias coming up. So we've got the 2-minute warning here in Dallas. 3rd down coming up for the Cowboys. 18 quarters without allowing a touchdown. They held the Cowboys when they were inside the red zone to a field goal. That's 9 straight times an opponent in the red zone has not been allowed a touchdown. See what Miami's defense can do here on 3rd and 4. And that was thrown in the area of Witten off his hands. And the first time he's been targeted today, Will Allen on the coverage.
Well, Will Allen overplays the outside cut by Jason Witten. Up at the line of scrimmage, he knows he has help inside. So don't go for any fakes. Try to undercut it. Nowhere for Tony Romo to throw the football. Excellent job of knowing where your help is. Play the technique.
Look at McBriar. Aimed to the left sideline.
Oh, it's on the center.
Looks like LP Ladouceur. Little twitch.
Ball start. Number 91, offense. 5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
Center. Right here in the middle, watch Ladouceur. Yeah, it's worth it. 4th and 4. It's a big first down if you can get away with it. The problem is now that you can't put anybody over the center, Jim. So all the officials, they got a clear view of him.
4 penalties on Dallas today, all of them false starts. McBriar. To Bess. Steps up and it's so short, he'll let it go. 36 yards on the punt. CYTV guy calls person of interest a must-see mystery. Michael Emerson, Jim Caviezel, the new hit drama, and it's coming up tonight right here on America's #1 network. So 3 timeouts for Miami and 1:45 to work with. Going to go with 3 receivers, bringing in Bess in a slot to the left.
3 timeouts, plenty of time. The main thing here for Matt Moore, be careful.
That's Jake Long who's going to back him up 5.
Ball start. Number 77, offense. 5-yard penalty remains 1st down.
Jake Long and his fiancée will be hosting some of the teammates tomorrow for their Thanksgiving. They move it back a day later when the Moores will be there. Matt and his wife Tara and the little baby Aubrey born on April the 1st. Be a part of that occasion.
You got him. You got him. I got him. Okay.
1st and 15. That's Marshall. Rodriguez wallop from the side by Victor Butler, who had a sack earlier in this half, gain of 6.
And Victor Butler was the defensive end rushing the passer. Good job of hustle.
A 2nd down and 9. Load up the right side. Spencer almost got caught. Moving across. Dump it over. Bush wrapped up. And a loss. A big loss. And it's Spencer, in fact, who makes the play and backs him up 6 yards. Timeout, Dallas. There was some hit a couple of plays ago by Victor Butler.
Well, on screen plays, Brandon Marshall, look at Butler, like we said, rushing the quarterback, stops, retreats, good hustle, gets the big hit.
Again, the Sprint halftime report is coming up with JP, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cowher. And a live performance by Enrique Iglesias from here at Cowboys Stadium. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
You know what I wonder when I think about the halftime guys, the studio? Thanksgiving, which one of them you think is eating the most food in there?
Oh, I know where you're going with that.
No, I mean, who would eat the most of that group? Could be Shannon, because he probably eats a little food, does a few push-ups in between, so he can afford to eat it. So maybe it's not what you think. I think it's Shannon.
3rd down and 15. I think they're all very watchful. Look out as Moore has the ball again mishandled, and the Cowboys take over at the 4. And Ware falls on it. That is 3 times, twice out of the shotgun. The ball has slipped through the hands.
Yeah, you got to look at it. The snap is not perfect. Well, it was pretty hard, Jim, and that's why it slipped through his hands. I was going to say, make sure the quarterback is not looking down the field, trying to see what the defense is doing. Boy, and DeMarcus Ware, that taking the angle to try to go around Colombo. But that fumble, that angle so far in the backfield, he's able to get back there and get the recovery.
Yeah, that's the thing. He got past his old Cowboy teammate. That ball so deep. And Dallas now set up at the 4-yard line with 1 minute and 1 second. 3 tight ends, Murray the running back. Fake to Murray, across the middle, and it is Robinson with the touchdown. LeRon Robinson, 5 straight games with a touchdown.
Little change up by the Cowboys offense. Instead of faking it and looking over the middle with the receiver coming from the right side, it comes from the back, from the left. The defense not ready for it.
Bailey makes it 10-3. A late first half gift. And LeRon Robinson, seeing action with Miles Austin out with a hamstring injury, has now scored 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games.
Top of the screen, the play action fake, the underneath coverage because of the good fake by Tony Romo. The fake is so good that the defense, who's trying to help out, that time it's Nolan Carroll, not able to get under LeRon Robinson. That was interesting. Like I said, Jim, I've seen that play about 100 times in the NFL this year. It always goes to the receiver, tight end to the right side. Doing it to the backside was different and very effective.
231 opponent plays since the last touchdown was allowed, but this time that Miami defense was handed a very tough assignment. Here's Mike Nolan, their defensive coordinator, and his family with strong ties to this Dallas Cowboys franchise. His dad, Dick Nolan, was a coach here. 2 different stretches, 1962 through 67 and 82 through 90. Dad, of course, a long-time San Francisco 49er coach, too. Dad passed away about 3 years ago. Frank was former head coach of the 49ers as well. This is Gates. Clyde Gates gives the Dolphins a chance to do something before the end of the half. Jesse Holley wrote him down, but a 39-yard return, matching his longest of the season.
Well, you said it earlier. When you look at Clyde Gates, the first thing that jumps out on this field with all these fast football players, he's faster than almost all of them. And that speed was evident. All he needs is a little break, a little hole, gets through it.
Never played high school football. Cousin of Bernard Scott, running back up at Cincinnati.
And you heard the Dolphin coaches talking about him last night, just slowly integrating him into the offense, the team, and of course they're in love with his speed.
Moore got the protection this time, and incomplete. Thrown to Brandon Marshall. Well, when Moore was here, Sperano was an assistant for Dallas, and Jason Garrett had come over after serving as an assistant at Miami the 2 previous years. So the 2 head coaches in this game were both here when Moore was here, and Matt remembers how Jason Garrett worked with him constantly, testing him in the film room. Aggressive teacher.
Yeah, that's right. Quizzing him in front of the group. That'll put some pressure on you. That'll make sure you go home and study at night.
On 2nd and 10. He's got Marshall, and they move it to the Dallas side of the field at the 42. Now they'll take that timeout. Still have 2 remaining. This weekend, the nation's top 3 teams are on CBS Sports tomorrow. Number 3 Arkansas takes on number 1 LSU. Then on Saturday, the 2nd-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide rolls against Auburn. Pretty good little lineup of games the next couple of days here on CBS. Vern Lundquist, Barry Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, they'll all be there. Their crew will handle both games.
Yes.
And we wish Vern, by the way, a very big honor coming up in the National Football Foundation. About a week away, going to get recognized for his lifetime achievement to the college game. We're proud of that. Our teammate.
That promo, it's going to be a good weekend. For us, I'm going to be sitting on that couch watching those college football games for sure.
Vern, the former voice of the Dallas Cowboys. 1st and 10, and Moore. That pass should have been intercepted by Terrence Newman.
Had him, Brandon Marshall wide open. Football gets away from Matt Moore just a little bit. Watch Reggie Bush has to block DeMarcus Ware, but the timing doesn't look great, so you can't blame Matt Moore there. It looks like it's... Look at all the defenders there. You gotta see the open space as a quarterback and throw to the open space.
29 seconds and 2 timeouts. Marshall crossed the middle and lost his footing, a yard shy of a first. And now they'll use their 2nd timeout. Now they're in field goal range.
Well, the one thing this Miami Dolphins offense was worried about, of course, which everybody does that plays the Dallas Cowboys, DeMarcus Ware. The Cowboys, DeMarcus Ware, he is running around everywhere. Right before the ball snapped, he's running to the other side trying to get matchups. He actually got matched up against Reggie Bush, but Matt Moore got rid of the football. Well, let's just take a look. They got him standing up everywhere. Runs to the other side real quick. The Dolphins don't make the adjustment, and look who has to block him. Good job by Reggie Bush. Just, hey, get in the way. He might run you over, but that might be good enough.
Just got enough on him to prevent him from getting to the quarterback. On pace for 22 sacks on the season. Approaching record territory. 3rd and 1. Down the field, hardline, contact, and a flag at the 10. Alan Ball got bunched up with him.
Pass interference, number 20 of the defense. Automatic 1st down.
Well, you and I talk about this every week. We saw Tony Romo do it early in the game. Got a pass interference. If you don't throw it 3 or 4 times a game deep down the field, especially when you're going to get this type of coverage, which you're going to get in the NFL now, hardly anything wrong can go bad. And most of the time, I'd say 50% of the time, Jim, it seems like we see what? Pass interference.
It seems like it, doesn't it? It's a 20-yard play, as it turns out. The penalty. And now with 17 seconds. Moore. In zone bound and just out of reach for Bush. DeMarcus Ware was back there defending.
Marcus Ware, we showed him both sides going. This time he's going to play a little spy inside, and he prevents the touchdown. If he didn't see Reggie Bush, that's going to be an easy lob. He made contact with Reggie Bush, stopped him from getting in the end zone, and stopped the touchdown. Well, that was a heads-up play. Marcus Ware talks about, he goes, I know everybody's job on the defense now.
11 seconds and Moore gonna run with it and steps out at 5, make it 4 seconds. And they're bringing out Shane Graham in the field goal unit.
Yeah, pocket collapses. Good decision by Matt Moore. Nobody's open.
Shane Graham into the field goal try.
Get out of bounds.
So Shane Graham, he's 1 of 2 here in this half. Made from 26, missed from 47. Again, the miss snapped the streak that went back to 09 of 25 consecutive makes. This is 28 yards. Fields on the hold, and the kick is good as the half ends. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Dallas Cowboys 10, the Miami Dolphins 6. We had 10 points, and we'll be kicking to Miami here shortly to start the second half. And now let's take a look at the NFL Mobile Recap presented by Verizon. This was really the difference maker in this game to this point. The snap getting away from Moore, Pouncey firing it back to him, maybe with a little too much zip to it. Ware fell on it, and then Romo found Robinson for the touchdown. But a good first half of football here, Phil, and a pretty good snapshot of why the Dolphins have been improved here late in the year, I believe.
I think there's no doubt about it. Cowboys hot. We saw why the Miami Dolphins have won their last 3 games.
And that's Bailey. Sent in a couple of hops into the end zone. Gates will have nothing to do with it. So that first half, again, was a good sequence of football there. And what are you expecting we're going to see now?
Well, it's interesting. I think both offenses got to come out there. Neither one can say, wow, we're really confident about what we did in the first half. I think you tread lightly, Jim, and you go, hey, let's don't make a mistake on the offensive side. Maybe our defense will get us that big turnover that puts us ahead, and we'll make the other team come from behind. So Dolphins, so many opportunities in the first half. They gave the Cowboys their score.
Both quarterbacks were 9 of 16 in that first half. As Bush bouncing around will not. Yes, he does get away from Hatcher and was able to salvage a couple of yards out of that. And Spencer finishes it off. It looked like it was going to be a loss on the play. So Romo with the touchdown pass after 2 first quarter picks. And Miami, and that defense gives up a touchdown, but it wasn't certainly the defense's fault. There's the acrobatic pick by Vontae Davis, with Sean Smith having the other one.
Miami on offense, be patient.
And that's Hatcher jumping across.
Encroachment, number 97 defense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And when I say be patient, here's what I mean, especially for even the play caller, Brian Dable, and the quarterback, Matt Moore. Just know the situation, know the score, know how it's gone so far today, and wait for the opportunity to come. Don't try to make it.
And second down and 3. After the 5th pre-snap penalty of the game against Dallas. And Bush straight ahead for a first down. Running into the arms of Orlando Scandrick. And the numbers are very similar. Rushing, passing, total yards, total plays, quarterbacks identical numbers. Except for the touchdown throw by Romo. And again, Moore did not throw the 2 picks that Romo had. But Moore with some couple of snap issues, holding on to the football. And 1st and 10, and here comes Ware. And Moore did a good job of saving the sack. Thrown toward Hartline with a flag.
Holding, number 77. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It was long on DeMarcus Ware.
Well, we've seen it left side of your screen. We've seen a lot of one-on-one today, and that is just a good tackle because it is absolutely going to be a sack on Matt Moore if Long doesn't make the tackle on Ware. Boy, he's right there. That could be a hit, sack, and a fumble. But DeMarcus Ware going against Jake Long because they know if they put him over there, the Dolphins will let him go one-on-one. If he goes to the other side, they might double team him.
3rd penalty of the game against Long. 1st and 20. That's Gates. His 2nd career catch.
You were talking about Clyde Gates last night to the coaches here. They were telling you, and it's, you look at this Dolphins offense, Jim, we know about Brandon Marshall. We know about Reggie Bush. They need somebody else to make plays. And Gates has the speed where they can put him in there every now and then and give him, hey, run the corner off, make the outside catch, which he just did.
4th round pick out of Abilene Christian with his 2nd career catch. He wore Johnny Knox's shoes to the NFL compound and ran the fastest time. Here on 3rd down, they're going to get the first with Reggie Bush and a whole lot more. And Reggie is taken out at the 35. So the big play for the Dolphins on Rob Ryan's defense for 34.
Well, Rob Ryan got to be upset. You got the blitz, you got the quarterback under pressure. Somebody forgot to cover the running back out of the backfield. And that's what happens when you're too aggressive sometimes blitzing. Guys forget, hey, I can go towards the quarterback, but if the running back peels off, I got to take him. And Matt Moore, good job retreating. Gets it off just before Sean Lee gets there.
So the Dolphins find themselves in Dallas territory. Daniel Thomas is the eye back. Another rookie in front of him, Clay. And Moore fires it. Hartline has the feet down. And looks like he has another first. Gain of 10.
What a nice throw. I was getting ready to say, hey, well, Thomas is in the game. Here it comes. It's going to be a run up the middle. But the play action fake that time, Matt Moore has a little extra time. Nice job by Hartline driving off Skandrick and getting a little room so Matt Moore can feel at ease and make that throw.
Another first down play, and it's Thomas into Sean Lee. He runs and then still takes Lee with him on his back for another couple and a gain of 5, maybe 6.
Well, this is interesting. They put 3 tight ends. They're going to put 1 in motion. Here he comes inside, and he's just a lead blocker. Really a nice little deception by the Miami Dolphins. And Thomas, we've talked about it inside, gets up in there and gets some tough yards.
A 2nd and 4. Play action, slant pattern best, right on the first down yardage. Right in front of Sensabaugh and Skandrick. Introducing NFL Magazine. Sign up for the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. And to learn more, go to NFL.com/magazine.
I think we're seeing this Dolphin offense. This is exactly what they want to be, Jim. They do, they bring in a lot of players, a lot of different formations. They want to keep you off balance. And the big thing is the play action pass.
Well, Moore has completed 4 passes on this drive, 4 different receivers. He's got another first down to operate with, and hold on a minute.
False start, number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Right tackle Mark Colombo, ex-Dallas Cowboy. Let me tell you something. They think highly of him still here in Dallas. Just that he was all in, and he was a team player, worked hard, did whatever it took, played while he was beat up, and not even a hint of a bad word about him. Down in Miami, doing a good job down there, working hard at right tackle.
In his 10th year overall. It's a 1st and 15. And it's Bush. And Reggie runs it down to about the 12. Give him 8. He wanted a lot more than that. But it's a good piece of running.
Well, Jim, first-round draft pick Mike Pouncey watched the center pull out here and lead Reggie Bush. Not many centers this athletic. Gets inside, gets the block, kicks it out. Reggie Bush gets inside of it. So that is nice stuff. We were talking about, well, we got the Pouncey brothers down in the NFL. Both first-round draft picks, both playing centers. His brother Marquise up in Pittsburgh. It's pretty special when your center can do that.
Wow, what a pair of brothers. 2nd down and 7, and Bush able to inch it inside the 10. James ends it after a run of 3. Those two brothers, the Pounceys, will be years down the line. Then they'll be fighting for Pro Bowl berths out of the AFC side.
Good point. You know, I didn't think of that. Well, you know, it's funny. We've talked about Marquise in Pittsburgh. He reminds me of Dermonte Dawson, who played for the Steelers. A center who could do it all, could run, be the lead blocker. He did it many years for Bill Cowher. And both of the brothers, Mike down here in Miami, same type of play.
3rd and 4. And more. That one was in the direction of Charles Clay, and the Cowboy defense again keeps him out of the end zone.
Well, the Miami Dolphins kept themselves out that time. And, you know, I'm not blaming Matt Moore. Listen, he's in there. He's doing a good job today, very good job, but he's just being careful with the throw. He knows they're in scoring territory, so if he's going to miss, he's going to miss where he did. Stop the drive.
1 of 8 on 3rd down. 27-yard attempt. Shane Graham. And he's 3 for 4 on the day. He's made 1 from 26, 27, and now 28. And it's a 1-point.
Telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Well, the Dolphins just kept the football for nearly 7 minutes to open up the second half, and it results in a field goal, the 3rd of the day, for Shane Graham. There's Felix Jones. From the 2-yard line, he takes a lick at the 17. Austin Spittler, the first to get there. Sperano and the Dolphins hang it in there. It's 10-9 Dallas, 3rd quarter. There, a little,
you know how
heartache style here in Dallas. Good thing to do.
Yeah, I'm on a diet.
Wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for sharing it with us. Jim Nance and Phil Simms here in the Cowboy Stadium, and now the first snap of the second half for Romo and company, and he gets away just in time to Des Bryant. Out to the 33-yard line. And that picks up 16. It was Burnett in quickly on Romo, got it away just in time.
Yeah, he did. Good job by Tony Romo once again, floating in the pocket, but Des Bryant just uses his size and strength to push off Vontae Davis at the top of the route. And that's all it was. And Tony Romo, watch him drip to his right. He feels the pressure. Unbelievable. He's one of the best in the NFL, drifting the throw.
Murray, who had half their yardage in the first half, adds 2. Kouamisi brings him down. Hey, Sunday, the NFL on CBS wraps up the holiday with a doubleheader. First, Buffalo and the New York Jets to Miniview. Some will see Matt Leinart as the starter. Houston at Jacksonville, Cleveland at Cincinnati, and then late, most of the nation will see New England at Philadelphia. All getting started with the NFL today, noon Eastern time, presented by Southwest Airlines. Greg Gumbel and Dan Deardorff will have that Patriots-Eagles game in the Sunday doubleheader window here on CBS. Second down and 8. Down the sideline, Robinson had his hands on it. Right over Sean Smith. Maybe Romo can come up with a second half like Jason Garrett did 17 years ago today. November 24th, 1994, starting for the injured Troy Aikman. Rodney Peete also injured. Jason led the Cowboys to an all-time Cowboy club record, 36 second half points. Threw for 311 yards for the game. A couple of touchdowns, Harper and Irvin. Cowboys won it in a shootout over the Packers. 3rd and 8. And the drive will not continue. No flag. Bryant wants the interference call. Davis was reaching in there and able to strip it away.
It's a couple of good things. It's a tremendous job by the Cowboys seeing the all-out blitz. Everybody up at the line of scrimmage. And then Tony Romo makes the great throw, but that is a knockout by Vontae Davis. Excellent coverage. A lot of pressure on the corners so far in the second half by this Miami defense.
So the Cowboys pick up 1 first down. That's it. McBriar boots it to Bess at the 16. And Bess is brought down at the 26. 48-yard punt, 9-yard return. Ball back to the Dolphins. Down by Emily. Wearing that Cowboy defense back out there after the Dolphins held it for 7 minutes to start the quarter, leading to a field goal. And Thomas able to shrug off the first hit and gain about a yard. Where, as usual, putting up a big performance.
Well, listen, when you got his kind of talent, they do everything with him. Rush the passer, they move him around, he's dropped back in coverage, stop the touchdown. That might have been the biggest play of the game when he saw Reggie Bush coming out of the backfield and hit him. But when you have a talent, a guy like DeMarcus Ware, you build your defense around him. Rob Ryan has done that.
As the fumble recovery that led to the game's only touchdown. Second down and 9, and that is batted down. Looks like Hatcher was the one.
Yeah, quick passing game. Even though it was a quick 5-step drop, boy, that was going to be a tight throw inside. And, you know, the quick drop, the short throws in the NFL, sometimes I don't know if they're worth it. Do a few of them, but you don't have a chance to really see what's going on. You got to make a decision quick, and the throws and the catches, they have to be perfect. When the ball goes up in the air, it's almost always big trouble.
5.5 to go in the third. And it's a 3rd and 9. Miami struggled on 3rd down today. And the Dolphins call a timeout. 10-9, Dallas.
Community by making the pledge to shop small at a local business this Small Business Saturday, November 26th.
And welcome back here on Turkey Day in Dallas. A tradition that goes back to the 60s. Cowboys in their throwback uniforms today from that era. 3rd down and 9. Another pre-snap
False
flag.
start, number 77. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's the 3rd of the day. That'll happen when you feel the presence of DeMarcus Ware anywhere on the field.
Well, sure it would. It'd make me nervous even if I was a good left tackle like Jake Long. It's noisy. We got all that. You're blocking him. But they kept him in the stance too long. That's not fair to the offensive linemen. They have to sit there. The timing was not good by the offense that time. Now it just changes everything. Play selection, of course, because you get a play that even gives you a chance to get a first down.
They go deep down the sideline to Hartline. Hartline has the snag at the 40.
I guess that answer is yes. Single coverage down the sideline on 3rd and long. And it's a nice job. Little stutter go. And I see this quite often when I watch the Cowboys play. They get mesmerized watching the quarterback. So when the quarterback turns your way all of a sudden and throws it, they're not in position. Alan Ball was really zeroed in on the quarterback. Nice job, Jake Long, at the last second. Let Matt Moore have time to step up and make the play.
One of the longest plays of the season for the Dolphins. Longest for Hartline, 41. And Bush. Nothing to work with. Gain of 1.
Now we're getting close to the end here, Jim. Getting late in the third quarter. Who's going to win the trophies today? Tell you what, it's not easy to come up with a list of guys that have just been distinguishing themselves where they got away from the rest of the group, but the Miami Dolphins really controlling the pace of the game, especially here in the second half.
Woo. They've got a 2nd and 9 at the Dallas 35. And again, it's a deep ball. It's Marshall, and Marshall has the catch and the touchdown. Remember, they overcame 3rd and 13 on this drive. 41 yards to Hartline, and then the 35-yard touchdown pass. What a catch by Brandon Marshall.
Well, it's one-on-one coverage on the outside.
Number 41 in the defense. Penalty will be declined. The result of the play, touchdown.
Oh, look at Terrence Newman just trying to stop the touchdown. He knew he was in trouble, but you saw in person Brandon Marshall on the field before the game, and you went, wow, when you see him in person, he's tall, he's big, and you understand why he can fight through situations like that and make the catch.
Yes, he can. Physical receiver. And the extra point makes it 16-10 Dolphins. Winners of 3 straight. Trying to upset the Cowboys in their house on Thanksgiving. Their first touchdown of the day. Moore to Marshall. And coming into today, the Dolphins had 5 completions on the whole year that went for 35 yards or more. They have 3 already today, including 2 on that last drive.
If you're going to play him like that, man-to-man coverage, Dolphins did the right thing. Challenge him down the field.
And Felix Jones is sandwiched at the 23. Well, for more than 30 years, it's been the most watched show on cable. The must-see show the pros watch. Unscripted, unrehearsed, unpredictable. JB and Phil, along with Warren and Chris, inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime.
I know a lot of people are going to say, they go, well, the Cowboys are flat. They took this team for granted. They're 3-7. No, they didn't. They practiced hard. They thought they were ready.
Bennett with the catch. They've barely been on the field here in this third quarter, as Bennett has a gain of 7. Jason Garrett came back from Washington from that overtime win on Sunday and then never went home. Came right in, started breaking down film. Had about a 24-hour stretch at the complex before he was able to make it. It's such a difficult thing to prepare for, the turnaround for the short week. The Cowboys have a lot of experience at it.
I think they knew what they were up against, too. And we heard it when we were there all day on Tuesday. What type of team they were going against. Big, physical, and confident.
False start. Number 68 offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
In visiting with Jason Garrett this season, it was fascinating to hear him tell the story about how much he learned observing Duke basketball after last season. Coach K invited him to Duke and allowed him to stay around the team for 3 days over a weekend, sat behind the bench for a game, watched them at every practice, every film session.
Built up about 3 notebooks, he said, of information, how to run in practice. But I thought the biggest thing, Jim, was he learned that you really got to deal with the emotions of the player and try to reach them that way.
Romo drops it, and there is Witten with the catch. Witten's first catch of the game, and somehow Romo was able to get the pass away with Starks all over him.
Well, it's It's the pressure. Randy Starks all over Tony Romo. Tony Romo really throws an ill-advised throw here. And Vontae Davis, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to attack it because it hangs in the air. And of course, Jason Witten, being as big as he is, hard to get around him.
Cowboy first down, and Romo able to somehow adjust. What a pass! And it was Murray tiptoeing down the sideline. A sack for certain, it appeared. Instead, it's a gain of 17. Cameron Wake had him.
Boy, you're talking about a special play. I think we started out, we said the philosophy, Tony Romo able to be careful with the football. Yes, he's thrown 2 interceptions today, but make those type of plays. That's what separates him from a lot of quarterbacks in this league.
And again, his coach talked to us about how he has a sense of calm about him. Making adjustments, making the plays. If he hands it off to Murray. And Dansby has hold of him after a 3-yard gain.
I mean, you're the Miami defense, Jim. You go twice. We got him, sack him. He gets a completion. Dead to rights, he's going to take a big sack, spins out of it, completes another pass. So it's game-changing plays. The Dolphins are getting 3 runners at Tony Romo and getting nothing out of it.
On 2nd and 6. He's got Robinson. And they rule it a catch. Right in front of Sean Smith. 4th catch of the game for Robinson. Good for 14.
Again, slot receiver coming down the field. Sean Smith, he thinks he's going underneath to get the interception. Just misses the football. Pinpoint throw. Good route by Robinson.
First down Dallas. Murray outside. Murray aligns a couple of times. Takes a couple of big hits, including Chris Clemens. No gain.
You can see the Cowboys, they got a little rhythm. They're trying to quicken the pace.
Also did not give the Dolphins a lot of time before that snap to even think about challenging the Robinson catch on the sideline as we move to within 20 seconds of the end of the 3rd quarter. Tony 4 of 4 on this drive to 4 different targets. Got a 2nd and 10. And Robinson again. And Robinson is taken down. Gain of 7 that will end the quarter. Miami leads it after 3, 16-10, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. And we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and all the crew here. Lance Barrow, our producer, Mike Arnold, our director, and great to be here again in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. And Marshall taking on oxygen after scoring the touchdown. That's put the Dolphins in front, but Dallas is threatening, starting the 4th. With a 3rd and 3. And Witten makes the catch, and again Romo doing a great job of getting away before he's knocked down. It's a first down. It was Dansby in on the quarterback this time, and Witten, he takes down a cheerleader. As somehow Romo makes another sensational play here.
It's the blitz. The running back does not see Dansby on the blitz. Tony Romo takes another big shot. How about that? 3 plays. I mean, this drive is all Tony Romo. 3 times this drive, he's gotten it done, and look out.
She just saw herself on the replay.
And just think if that was you or me, Jim, we'd be
injured. 1st and 10.
Away.
And Romo thought about running with it. Now fires it in zone, and it is caught. What a catch! It's Robinson for the 2nd time today in the end zone.
I'm not kidding you. That's one of the best drives a quarterback can have in the NFL this season. Getting out of trouble, taking a big hit, moving out of the pocket once again. LaRon Robinson came from the far outside the right and ran all the way across the field. His job, get to the back of the end zone, keep running, another perfect throw.
Pretty nice catch, too. Robinson now with 7 touchdowns over the course of 5 games. And Dallas with that extra point. Involved with since 2007, Play 60, a national youth health and fitness campaign encouraging youngsters to be active for at least 60 minutes a day.
Jimmy Robinson, wide receiver coach, talking to receivers. Tony Romo, how about that smile? You got to know, hey, listen, Wade Wilson, the quarterback coach, man, the throws, the tight coverage.
12 weeks into the season, how many better jobs have you seen than that by a quarterback?
That's what I've seen.
Gates fails to make it to the 20. 21-yard run back.
Well, Jim, you and I talk about LaRon Robinson to the coaches all the way back, all the way across the field. Watch the safety that's back in the middle, too. He can't even, LaRon Robinson, when he gets back of the end zone, the safety looks him up, and he's going so fast they can't catch up. So that is an excellent job by LaRon Robinson staying involved in the play.
That is Phil at control of the clicker, rewinding the network.
I forgot to rewind it because I was too busy watching the play. But that is just never give up.
I think I saw you just take it past All in the Family and Mary Tyler Moore before you brought it back to the game. As Moore has an open target, it's Hartline. And he has the catch at the 32. These quarterbacks are in sync in this second half.
They truly are. And, you know, a lot of times it takes Hartline bottom of your screen now. They've gone deep a few times. That'll get defenders off of you. But, you know, too, Jim, offensive linemen like anybody else, like if you're a shooting guard, you got to get some shots. And offensive linemen, it's the same way. They got to get a feel for those defensive linemen. And it seems like late in the games, offensive linemen usually win those battles.
Bush with Lex Hilliard in front of him. One of the Reggie. That's outside and stiff arm to no effect as Skandrick stays with him. No gain.
Talk about Tony Sparano. You know, Jim, we said it. We thought this game would be tough and close. Tony Sparano, the three-game win streak. We asked him, what's the big difference?
He changed everything. After their 7th loss, after 0-7, he changed everything the way they did it. Practice schedules, film sessions, stretching, everything was done differently.
He did everything against all that he believes in as a head coach or a coach in the NFL. No pads at practice.
2nd and 10, dumping it to Bush. Ware is there, trips him up first, and then he's finished off by Keith Brooking.
You know, the other thing, and he was talking about all that, on Wednesdays he brings his players in at 11 o'clock to give them extra time to rest. And look what has happened. The players, they play hard. He goes, I worry about getting them enough rest, get them healthy, get them fast, and they played much better the last 3 weeks.
The man who took over a 1-15 franchise, and they went 11-5 his first year and won the AFC East, matching the best single-season turnaround in NFL history. And they're in the midst of a big midseason turnaround this year as Moore trying to fight through it, no chance. Ware is there. There's a flag at midfield. There's a flag down. Ratliff also got to him.
Illegal contact. Number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, that's Abram Elam coming down the field against Anthony Fasano, right in the middle of the field. That little move, reaches out, grabs him with both arms.
And it's that contact.
Good call.
It's that contact that negates the sack and gives the Dolphins the first down at the 42. As Brookings in on another play, no gain. James spikes it as they push the rookie back.
Cowboys just storming the front line right now. Just trying to overpower the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. Keith Brooking, 51, reads it properly, stays in his lane. Anthony Spencer comes from the outside.
Second and 10 with 11.5 to go. And Marshall almost able to reel it in. Incomplete. Barry Church on the coverage.
Well, you're a quarterback. Anytime you think you have a chance to throw it to Brandon Marshall down the field, you want to. Barry Church has contact. That stops the incompletion. When Marshall's coming out of the cut, they ran into each other. That was the difference.
I'll tell you, Bush was open underneath and he had his arms up wanting it. Went for the longer pass instead. It's incomplete. Setting up a 3rd and 10.
Not even getting in the shotgun after a couple bad snaps.
Bess, great catch. First down, Miami. Devon Bess pulled it in with one hand, 24 yards.
Well, it's just a nice play down the middle of the field. Bess goes this way, the safeties go out. Nice read, good protection, and it happens right into the rhythm of the play. Did you see the little move inside by Devon Bess? Watch it. This little fake, that's enough. You saw Skander kind of have to shuffle his feet. In the NFL, a half a step, you're wide open.
First down, and Bush has 4 off the right side. Still never got him to the ground. Again, at the end of the game, we're going to select the Phil Simms All-Iron MVP Award. And you fans can help decide the winner by voting now online at CBSSports.com.
Yeah, Jim, I'm sorry. We're just giving some suggestions, and who do you think deserves that award? But, of course, it's changing by every series.
Yep.
You know, it was first off, it was the corners from Miami. Then I looked and I said, man, this Mike Pouncey's having a great game. Then Tony Romo has the drive of the day.
Robinson with a couple of touchdown catches. Second down, a toss. Bush makes the move to pick up the first. He got away from Butler on that little shift right after taking the pitch. Gains 12 and a first.
Man, that was special. Butler not fooled. Does a wonderful job on the outside. Stays in position. Forces him in. Where's the help? Nobody hustling from behind. Lismore, 95, finally makes the play. How about that plant and go up the field? One thing we've seen from Reggie Bush today, Jim, I think you can see that he's determined. He wants to be that running back that gets to do it all. And he's proven to me that he can take it between the tackles and get some yards.
He's got another handle here. And he's going to get back 2. That gives him 14 carries for 62 yards. Plus he had that big screen pass earlier in the game that went for over 30.
I just jinxed him every time I say something about it. It's unbelievable. But there was nothing he can do. Even Jim Brown couldn't have got out of that. Well, maybe.
Inside of 9 minutes to go. And the ball at the Dallas 20.
Once again, know the situation, know the score, play accordingly.
Moore has Fasano, who steps out with another Miami first and a flag for the late hit on Walker. The hit well out of bounds after the 13-yard gain.
Well, if it's against Dallas, it's a big deal.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit, out of bounds, number 25 defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
First off, good route. Fasano down the field. Excellent throw by Matt Moore. He is striping it now. And then going out of bounds, the late hit. And why it's a big deal, Jim, the 7 to the 3.5 changes everything. You know, you're on the 7-yard line, you're going, well, can we run it? I don't know. We shouldn't waste it down. Now, you can just say, hey, we're going to run it in there 3 times to see what happens.
First and goal to go. At the 8-minute mark, it's Bush, and he is pancaked. That's Coleman.
Well, it happened so fast, I couldn't even see what went wrong. They blew the blocking assignments.
We got a Miami player down. Carey is injured, and we'll be right back to Dallas.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by the HTC Resound, the only phone with built-in Beats audio. Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. And by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Vernon Carey helped off to the sideline, the former first-round pick out of the University of Miami, and Nate Garner has replaced him at right guard as the Dolphins down 1, 7:51 remaining, have 2nd and goal from the 5.
Yeah, the Dolphins, Jim, they're just not executing well. That play was there. They messed up the blocking assignments. Coleman comes unblocked, makes the tackle.
Thomas is the running back behind Moore. Fake to the rookie and throw. And the ball is alive. And hold on a minute. Ruled incomplete.
Yeah, Pete Morelli, what they should do, they wait a little longer. Finally, you can see, I thought I could see the hand coming forward with the football in it. Anthony Spencer from the outside.
Does that convince you?
No. Jason Garrett.
No challenge from the Dallas sideline.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. It's so close. Such a big play.
3rd and goal. And Moore fires it back in the end zone. Tipped away by Abram Elam. His heart line looked to be open for a moment. Great play by Elam.
Good job by Matt Moore getting outside. Anthony Spencer goes inside to take the chance.
Oh, well, hold on a minute. That was just a little behind him. Thought Elam had gotten more on it.
Yeah, he did the right thing. The defender's never looking. If he throws in front, it's going to be a touchdown. Hard to do. He was running hard to his right.
23 yards for the lead back for the 4th field goal of the day. Timeout, Dallas will come back with Miami attempting to take some 14 plays down the field. Now they're setting up for the field goal. Would be the 4th of the day for Graham.
Cowboys have too many people on the field. They finally realize it.
This would be our 4th lead change of the game. And Graham is good. 4 out of 5 for the day. Miami back in front. 19-17.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. And by Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores.
Miami has just tied its longest drive of the season, 14 plays that is. It leads to a field goal and the lead. A little more than 7 minutes to play. Felix Jones, the first player to ever touch the football here at Cowboys Stadium 3 years ago. And the short kick to set up Dallas at the 26.
This is the most American game played. When we graduate, we'll be on the same team. But when we're on that field, we do not like each other.
They're there for a special reason. It's not just about the football.
A Game of Honor, showtime December 21st with a prelude to a Game of Honor next Saturday. And you can catch all the stories on CBS Sports Line, our webisodes. There's Bob Wishney talking about honor. His young son, Ensign Eric Wishney, surprising his mom coming home today. He's been on the USS Enterprise, serving over in the Persian Gulf and coming home. And Dad will be home tomorrow. We're thrilled for the Wishney family. Bob's such a long-time part of everything we do at CBS Sports.
And we got to give him a little credit, too. We have the Turkey Bowl every year on Tuesday night before Thanksgiving. And Bob, once again, high bowler of the night.
Yeah, what did he say? That's 8 times or something?
It's a lot.
Why don't you pair me with him next year?
Well,
What do you have, a 195?
195 was the high score for the group, yeah.
Cowboys with the completion to Robinson, his 7th catch of the game. He's having a huge afternoon. 2nd down and 6. Across the middle. They've got Murray. And Murray's taken off to the 48. He got away from Dansby. Takes it for 18.
And that was just an excellent job. Tony Romo, it's a zone coverage, so he really he made it happen. He looked all over the field. I think he looks down the middle, looks left. Did that little shoulder twitch. It made the defense expand. That's why DeMarco Murray was so wide open inside. You know, just overcoming the rough start, Tony Romo. You know, he's just got such a library of good plays and good moments. He's able to overcome a really bad start.
Well, he's completed his last 9. Make it 10. Now that's well defended. Murray is pushed back by Burnett. And that lost a yard. Well, look what's just arrived here, Phil.
Yep. Got those trophies ready. Thank everybody for bringing them here for us.
Yeah, the Arlington Police Department, the Detective of the Year, Donna Hubbard, Supervisor of the Year, Sergeant Letitia Watson, bringing the trophies into the stadium earlier today. 2nd down and 11.
Thank you, Jim.
And almost pass batted down.
But, you know, the Dolphins that time, they found out quick. Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator, goes, if you're going to play zone against the offense like the Cowboys and against Tony Romo, you're going to lose. So what do? They pressure, make it tighter coverage, man-to-man, and you see the defense reacting, pushing the pocket just enough to knock it down.
Big 3rd down for Dallas at the 5-minute mark.
58.
Mike Nolan, D-coordinator for the Dolphins. And it's going to be a 3rd and 16 as it turns out. As Free moved early.
False start, number 68 offense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Well, said this before, when the Dolphins had it, that's huge because of that extra distance. Now you can play a more conservative defense and just make sure you know where the 1st down is and stay in that area and drive forward to tackle.
10th penalty of the game against Dallas. Romo improvising again, got a flag. Goes on the run, almost intercepted. And that was Mitchell who got a hand on it, but there was a flag.
Holding, number 77 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
They may have been trying to hold back Cameron Wake again.
Right tackle, Smith. Oh, he gets caught. Nice move under by Cameron Wake. I'm not sure Tony Romo wasn't past the line of scrimmage when he threw the football too, but it doesn't matter.
Now look at the Cowboys on this formation now shifting around as McBriar was almost on the sideline. The Cowboys had it spread out. Now they shift back in tight. Flag. Best comes up to make the grab at the 22. And traveled 36 yards.
I'll say probably, I'm just guessing, in a legal formation since they were wide and they had to shift.
Listen, we have an illegal formation, kicking team. Player moved from ineligible to eligible. 5-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the kick. 1st down, Miami.
That'll give Miami the football at the 27 after they step off the 5 yards. Coming up, the Subway post-game show with JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. The complete recap of the game here in Dallas. And Phil, getting closer to you presenting your All-Iron MVP award. We'll be doing that.
You know, we're doing that, and we're getting closer to a crushing defeat for the Dallas Cowboys. 4:47, Jim. They have 2 timeouts. Just a couple first downs by this Dolphin offense would make it extremely tough for the comeback. You see the standings. Cowboys 6-4 with the Giants. How do you think the Eagles are? What are they doing at home? They're going, man. Dallas loses. The Giants have a tough game. We win. We're 1 game out of the lead.
That's right. Giants and the Cowboys still have both matchups to come. They haven't played this season. As Bush is stopped for no gain.
Well, on a short week, Jim, we've had some outstanding play by corners and wide receivers too. Hard line. How about the catch by Brandon Marshall? And Robinson, you talked about him all day long. The hustle. And Devon Best, I don't know if I've ever seen him drop one. Over Hawaiian to June Jones.
Pretty good catch by Marshall, too, when he caught the touchdown with Newman grabbing a hold of his neck. Vernon Carey is still out, the right guard, injured on the previous series. Garner in for him. Second down, we call it 9. And more slides for a couple. Inside of 4 minutes, and as you said, the Cowboys, they used one of those timeouts. They used a timeout when they had too many men on the field.
Right. On
the field goal try that was coming from Miami.
You know, that's instinctive. You just call those timeouts, you have 12 on the field. But even if they'd have got caught, the Miami Dolphins, if it had only been half the distance, they still would have kicked the field goal.
Make it 7 defensive backs in for Dallas. A 3rd and 7. Moore has the time, and that's going just behind Bess. And the ball's coming back to the Cowboys. Scandrick was in on that play.
Yeah, Orlando Scandrick, he has really had a good year for the Dallas Cowboys. Left side of your screen, good protection. They double teamed DeMarcus Ware. The throw was behind, but it wouldn't have mattered. Orlando Scandrick was going to make the tackle short of a first down.
Cowboys wait to get the returner. At the last second, they send out Des Bryant. Owasu Ansah was going to take it, but instead he sent Bryant out, who's a possible game breaker. Bryant shifts past a couple, hits, and Bryant still going out to the 35, and that's what he can bring to it. He was still strapping on his helmet as the ball was in the air. And then he returns it 19 yards after a 56-yard punt.
Yeah, the punt was so good, it gave him that extra time to get a little space to make all these moves. And for a big man, those are a lot of quick moves in a small space.
Good move putting him on the field.
Joe DiCamillo, special teams coach.
They don't put him out there all the time because they're worried about injuries.
Well, sure, you know, he's a big guy, can only get so many plays out of him, but here we go. This is the game. It's 4-down territory for the Dallas Cowboys, most likely.
Inside of 3 minutes, and what has been a good one here on Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. Cowboys go down the sideline, and that's going out of bounds. Robinson was over there, so was Sean Smith of Miami.
The only thing that wouldn't make this 4-down, if you throw 3 straight incompletions, you'd still have the 2-minute warning and 2 timeouts to try to stop the Miami Dolphins and get one more shot at it. But if I was the Miami Dolphins, I would play pressure defense. Your corners have been outstanding overall today. Make Tony Romo throw the perfect ball to get the football, the first downs or the completions.
Here's Romo on 2nd and 10. Gets away from the blitz, gets it over to Witten. He's got Holly out there blocking, and Bell bumps him out at the 40 of the Dolphins.
Well, they zone blitz it. They bring a defensive lineman out to look for the pass. He comes across. That's Odrick. No chance. Wide open.
That's pretty good of Holly, holding on to that block that long on Vontae Davis. He's a 4th team, really the 4th option at receiver with Austin out. A stiff arm here.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So just a big gamble I didn't think they had to take.
First down. It's back to Witten. Bumped out by Burnett. Gain of 6.
Almost pass complete again to Jason Witten.
Well, one thing, you got to be careful on these sidelines of these games.
Yeah, I mean,
so many dang people standing around. You go out of bounds, you run into you don't know who.
yeah, Witten's been a wrecking ball out there. You know, accidentally running into a cheerleader earlier. Just had a chance meeting with the Cowboy doctor.
Well, you got to look at it. Cowboys, really, they are in field goal range even right here.
Apologize for some of the words you may have heard from the sideline there. That's Murray. Gets the first down. Ran into Costa for a moment as center, but picks up 6.
Well, that's why you run the draw. They're expecting it. They got them off balance. It was a safe call, get you closer, and definitely get you in field goal range.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cower. Full recap of this game. And again, the presentation of the All-Iron MVP Award coming up on the Subway postgame show. 2:09 to play. There's another Miami-Dallas Thanksgiving Day game coming down to a field goal, as it did with that infamous Leon Lett game of 1993. 2-minute warning at Dallas. Warning. Cowboys breaking huddle, down 2. Could be coming down to a rookie kicker for the Cowboys, who has not listed this stadium. Perfect 18 of 18 on the year here at Cowboy Stadium. First and 10 for Dallas from the 29. And they run it on first down with Murray. And Murray able to plunge ahead for 9. Well, Miami just calls a timeout.
The Miami Dolphins, I was sitting there thinking, okay, you're on the edge. It's going to be a long field goal. Do you play it safe and hope you can knock some passes down and make them make a long field goal, or do you be very aggressive and maybe get a turnover, drive them back, but keep them where they're at? I think the Cowboys in their play selection now, I think they're going to be very conservative. They like where they're at. They want to use the time, and they want the Miami Dolphins to use their last time out. So I'd put everybody up there and attack the run like it's 100% run.
Of course, that last carry was such a big one. They only need a yard for a first. Murray now is 75 on the ground for the day.
You know, Jim, I could hear the blocking by the Cowboys. You could hear the contact as the wide receiver and the lineman contacted the defense.
Second and 1. Plowing ahead for the first down. It's Murray. And now they're down to about the 18. Would be somewhere around a 35, 36-yard field goal from here.
Well, it's a really good drive. A double team inside Kozar along with Bill Costa, the center. That double team gave enough space. DeMarco Murray, how about that? For a big man, can kind of maneuver that body and get in between those blocks to get those yards.
So John Phillips pushing a few Dolphins aside to give Murray the room he needed to pick up that first down. 108 to go. It's Murray. And he dives ahead, 4 yards closer. And Miami takes another timeout. Bill, you asked the fans to vote on CBSSports.com. And they've said DeMarcus Ware, but it's pretty evenly divided.
I think it's a pretty smart by the fans.
This is Tim Love. He's going to be, the Iron Chef from Lonesome Dove, and he's been cooking up his special recipe, the roasted jalapeno pie ingredients here with the Granny Smith apples and the roasted jalapenos and cinnamon and nutmeg. And we still got a lot to sort out here, and Dan Bailey has been pretty cool, this rookie out of Oklahoma State. He won last week's game in overtime on the road, 39-yarder.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Cowboys, they're going to position this football in the middle of the field. Take no chances.
2nd and 6. And it's Murray. Murray dives to the 8. 5 more for Murray.
We've seen it so many times. The blocking up front. Jason Witten gets the edge. Cameron Wakes expecting the run to be inside. DeMarco Murray, I've seen it many times in the last 4 or 5 weeks. He breaks outside for the extra yards. Cowboys could take the play clock down, call a timeout, and kick this on 3rd down. Even though that would leave a few seconds for Miami.
You like the 3rd down option?
I like this choice, yes.
And there you go. With 17 seconds to go.
You know, Jim, going back, even before that play, we were sitting here and I was going, do you let them score? And the answer to that would have been no. They were still far enough back. I'd want to see them try that field goal to make it.
Bailey has made 25 straight, as we mentioned earlier. Now that's the longest active streak in the league. Only 1 miss on the whole year. That was week 2 at San Francisco. He's 26 of 27.
Well, win or lose, impressive drive by the Cowboys. Really, it's just the pressure. Well, you know what? Let me just say this. The players on the field, they don't feel the pressure because it happens so fast in the NFL. You don't have time to think. It's just boom, boom, 1 or 2 seconds. What can you feel in that period of time? Not much. You react to what you see.
They're going to snap it one more time offensively, center it a bit. The Cowboys have 1 timeout, so Romo steps to his left, surrounded by Phillips and Murray, and they'll bring out Bailey for a straight ahead, straight on, 27, maybe 28-yarder. And now they'll take the timeout to make this 1 play to decide the game. Dan Bailey out of Mustang, Oklahoma.
Well, if the Cowboys win this game, there's no doubt in my mind. Robinson, what a game. DeMarco Murray, but Tony Romo in the clutch, the big touchdown drive, driving them down field here. He would be my pick if they make the field goal, along with DeMarcus Ware, who was outstanding on defense and stopped the touchdowns, forced the quarterback to miss some open receivers too.
Romo is the holder. This is a duty he had to take on a couple of weeks ago when McBriar got that drop foot and it was uncomfortable for him to get in the kneeling position. So Romo is the holder. Ladiseur to snap it back, and the game comes down to this. 28 yards. Bailey's kick is good, and the Cowboys win it 20-19. The game ends with the 5th lead change of the day. The game winner from 28 yards. These two used to be assistants together here in 07. Romo leads them down the field, and the Cowboys go to 7-4. They end the Dolphins' 3-game win streak.
Well, we watched him kick in practice the other day, Bailey. You even said it. It's sharp. You can hear it, the sound. What a year he's had for the Dallas Cowboys.
Miami did it all he could do there to try to block it. Nolan Carroll went up high as he could. Romo celebrates it. It's a sweet win for Dallas. A hug with his defensive coordinator. Jerry Jones celebrates. Tony Sparano and the Dolphins fought hard all day long, but couldn't come up with it at the end. Well, what a day here in Dallas. Cowboys win it 20-19, and Keith Urban puts the perfect serenade to our Thanksgiving credits on this holiday when the CBS Sports crew wants our loved ones to know we couldn't do it without you.